translation is available in the first Hindi class. If anybody wants to hear Hindi translation, जिसको हिंदी में सब क्लास लेना है, ये क्लास में बाजू के रूम में ट्रांसलेशन.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Everyone looks so bright-faced.
I think reading from the other side.
No, maybe we have very nice lights here in this new facility. So thank you very much for being present for our weekly feast program here. And I'm also grateful to our management team for giving me this opportunity to serve. Now I sound as if I'm speaking from behind the clouds. Akashvani. Does the sound okay for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So this is a wonderful facility, and I would like to extend my best wishes and congratulations to all of you. My first visit to this facility, so sorry if my congratulations are a little late. The founder Acharya of our movement is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Encouraged all of us to try and understand the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, that have been explained or narrated in the revealed scriptures, like Srimad Bhagavatam. He also put in a lot of hard work and with great endeavor. He gave us the English translation along with his purports of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And since then, since the time he has translated the Srimad Bhagavatam in the English language and later on in various other languages, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna has become a celebrity, global celebrity. And he has, Supreme Lord, he has really attracted the hearts of people from all races, all distinctions, all over the globe. The day human race finds it feasible to populate Antarctica, then Krishna would become very popular on all the 7 continents of this planet. The 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, is divided into several volumes which you call as cantos or skandha. There are a total of 12 skandhas, 12 volumes, or 12 cantos. This distinction has been given by the previous notes of the Srimad Bhagavatam. They say that Vyasadeva, the original compiler of this great magnus opus, this great book, had presented it in 12 volumes, 12 cantos. 10th canto is the largest of all the 12 cantos. And it describes innumerable activities or pastimes of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Most of the descriptions are from the tract of land called as Mathura region, of which the township of Vrindavan is more prominent. So when Krishna was a little boy, under 7 years of age, about that age, according to the societal customs, he along with his friends could take calves out for grazing. Do any of you know what is grazing? Do you have any idea what that means? Grazing, taking calves for grazing. It's one of the activities that is from the dinosaur era, prehistoric. No one does that anymore. Let us say it was similar to what today we describe as having kids' time. All the kids, all the children of the community would come together and they would have fun time with calves, sometimes hundreds of calves. And not only were these children at 7 years of age good with interpersonal relationships, not only did they have strong bonds amongst themselves at that young age, but they also knew how to have good relationships with other species, like calves. Go figure this out. It's an interesting aspect of how society functioned thousands of years ago. How many of you can deal with any other species than the human species? Like every day of your life, hours together. Some of you may have pets, I guess. How many hours of the day can you spend with your pets? We speak about having skill sets, especially interpersonal skill sets. Well, that has gone for a toss out of the window nowadays. despite so many seminars, you still need the HR department to take care of or to have a good scenario where interpersonal relationships are maintained. How many of you know what the HR department does? The HR department carries out a similar function that in the old age the elders in the family would do: hear complaints and try to resolve disputes and make the work atmosphere amiable. Think. Dozens and dozens of children, just about 7 years or thereabouts, 7 years of age. None of them felt that they needed adult supervision. And none of them went to complain or went back with a complaint serious enough to have adult supervision. That is the society, and that is the mood of the society that we are speaking of. Some of you may think it is over exaggeration. Well, I may not agree or disagree with you. I'm just stating that this is what has been passed down since generations, these narrations. So the children would be happy with each other. They had sufficient understandings amongst each other that they never needed adult interference or supervision. And they could also deal with calves, young cows or young bulls. They could deal with them, not hurt them or get hurt themselves, but learn how to have fun with each other and with the calves around them. This teaches us something, that if someday we get an opportunity to participate, to be a participant in such a community, most probably we would have better interpersonal relationship skill sets than what we have now. Where we could live and be happy with a host of other people who think differently or individualistically. And we could also learn to live with nature at 7 years of age. What is very important to understand is that the adults were okay with these young children taking out the calves for grazing, which basically meant that their generation was also very good in these activities. So when did this change come about generations down? When it is so difficult to keep just 4 people together for 40 days. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the boys would, Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends, along with the calves, would go to different forests of Vrindavan or the greater Mathura region, which basically meant that these boys knew their directions well. Somehow or the other, they had all the alleys and narrow gullies and roads mapped in their head, because they could navigate through all the pathways in the forest. And they were just 7 years old. One fine morning, they were playing ball on the banks of the river Yamuna. Like beach ball. When we say the banks of the river Yamuna, obviously the river bank had wonderful beach fronts or beach-like sand, but kids could play. So they were having fun. The calves are meandering around. After some time, some of the boys, they came up to Krishna and said, "Hey, Kana." Krishna is lovingly called as Kana. "Hey, Kana, our calves are sleeping." Krishna is like, "They never sleep. When we are playing, they are also playing." And then some other boys, they said, and some of our friends, coward boyfriends, they're also sleeping. Krishna says, Where are they? So they guide Krishna towards one section of the Yamuna bank, where the calves are lying on the ground. Young boys are also on the ground. And Krishna comes up to that place. And he sees that all of them are unconscious. Now, typically, we would expect Krishna to call 911. But I guess Krishna has better ideas. He turns around to look at his other friends with whom he had come to investigate. And he finds that they had also fallen down unconscious. Then Krishna looks all around, 360-degree view, 360 view, all around. And he's the only one standing erect. Everyone else is unconscious. And looks for any calves that are still on their feet. None of them are on their feet. Every calf is unconscious. Krishna realizes that that portion of the Yamuna river needs further investigation. So Krishna, most probably, he must have his trailer van somewhere with his biology investigative set, flasks, chemicals. He does all of that in his head and figures out that the waters of the Yamuna are poisonous. And they're so poisonous that the vapors of that poison rising up from the Yamuna river has rendered that particular few kilometers or few miles of the air poisonous. But most probably, Krishna came from the planet Krypton, like Superman. Kryptonite. He has kryptonite with him. Krishna has some power, is immune to that poison. Or maybe it is Mother Yashoda's milk. Krishna is immune. He is unaffected. So Krishna decides to access the database, Interpol database. And he finds mention of one very shady character in that database. Just imagine like Krishna has access to AI or he has some AI tool with him. He goes, yes, shady character. Recently moved to Vrindavan. Name Kalia. Form snake. Many hoods. Accompanied by his wife's family, extended family. Extremely dangerous because has so much of hate for everyone in his heart. Meanwhile, one of his favorite friends has escaped from there and run back to the village. He goes, thou. Thou is Balaram, elder brother of Krishna. Thou says, Hare Krishna, what's the problem? Why are you shouting like this? Thou! Everyone has fallen to the ground. So Balaram, Dauji, he immediately starts running towards where Krishna is. And then he realizes that, well, the elders in the village will also be concerned. So he stops. He tries to persuade the elders in the village not to be over concerned. Hence, Daudit, Balaramji is not able to come to this particular scene immediately. All of you look so interested. Is this a good story? All right, so then I'll continue the story next time. So Dauji is being delayed, Balaram. Krishna is by himself. Krishna decides to challenge Kaliya, the snake. So Krishna knows that the story will be told in the 21st century. So he says, let me challenge Kaliya on Facebook. Because if you challenge someone on Facebook, that is taken seriously. And he also did it on Twitter. X. Said, Kaliya! Why are you troubling my kinsman? Now, Kaliya is Facebook savvy. Kaliya cannot tolerate this insult on X, Twitter. Kaliya rears his birds up from the waters of the Yamuna. Dark, sinister, and yet fulgent. Yes, and Krishna. Krishna takes a tripod, puts his iPhone on selfie mode, video mode, pan camera, zoom, filter. And after doing that, he jumps on Karya's herd. And that is how we also have digital evidence of this event. The digital evidence was transcribed and the word formed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna dancing on Kaliya. Poor Kaliya felt as if his skull would crack into 1,000 pieces. Krishna finally offered him a deal. I let you live if you leave my village and never come back and leave with your entire family. So after hours and hours and hours of trying to subdue Krishna, Kaliya realized that it was impossible. Why? Because you see, hate, anger, disdain, pride, these are very, very powerful emotions. Very powerful. These emotions are so powerful that they can completely enamor not just you, but your entire community if they believe in you. If you have sufficient hate within your heart, your mind, and you're able to convince your entire community and they believe in you, then the whole community will harbor sufficient hate, sufficient pride to destroy the entire planet. Very powerful emotions. However, love, kindness, compassion are seemingly very, very simple looking emotions, very, very easy going emotions. But their power and intensity, the power of love, the intensity of love, a drop of that can easily shatter liters and liters of hate. It is easy to harbor feelings of hate and pride. It's very, very rare to possess a drop of love and kindness. Because kindness, love, and compassion only exist when your only motive is to be a selfless servant. And even when I put these words in my mouth, I find myself unqualified to speak such high sounding words. However, I'm simply repeating the words of the great saintly personalities. Emotions of kindness, emotions of love, compassion, etc., can only exist within the personality of somebody who's selflessly service oriented. In order to have hate or unkindness or pride, arrogance, etc., all you need to do is continue being an illusion. And this body pleasures are necessary for my existence. That's it. As soon as one finds somebody else and their existence seemingly interfering with our bodily pleasures, the pleasures that we seek, you have hate for them, you have disdain for them. But being selflessly motivated to do service, that needs a lot of effort. In fact, it may need a lifetime of effort, 24/7 by 365. However, what did I say? I also mentioned that these emotions, from the superficial perspective, appear to be very simple and easygoing. Oh, I love this. Oh, I feel for that person. It's so easy to express. It comes easily. Do you think it's easy to express, I hate that person? No, it's not easy. You need to have the right kind of atmosphere, the right time, place, and circumstance to express that. Because it's not considered politically correct to express your hate. Is it? I hate that person. You say that, and you could be an untouchable in society. You say, I love everyone. Oh my God, you'll be a celebrity just by making that statement. Maybe this is a cue for many of us who are not on Facebook. Your first Facebook post should be, I love the whole world. You'll get so many heart emojis and likes. You put this post, I hate everyone. Then see what reactions you get. So hence, these emotions appear to be that which can be easily cultivated. And this is the dilemma. This is where we make a mistake. mistake is that we do not really understand the mechanisms of these emotions. Hate or negative emotions come from the place of feeling insecure. And just ask a question, personal question to yourself. How secure do I think I am in life? And if you feel insecure about anything, negativity is waiting for you easily. Love and compassion can only exist when one is completely secure in one's existence. So if you are completely secure and there is no fear, there's no stress about anything in your life, then it's possible that you can be blessed by feelings of emotions of love and kindness and compassion. A great saintly personality, Vedanta Trishika, he gives an interesting perspective of a powerful devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was thrown into the ocean so that he could drown to death. The person who got him thrown into the ocean was none other than his own father, Hiranyakashipu. He survived. He survived many other challenges. Each one of them was supposed to bring him death. He survived all of that. So later on, he was invited to a TV debate on television. And the host asked him, Sir, Prahlad Maharaj, sir, how did you feel when they were holding you on that cliff and you were about to be thrown into the ocean? What were your emotions? Did you have fear? Were you concerned about your existence? Please tell us, sir. Rama said, I was happy. I was feeling love. This was shocking. The commentator was the host of the TV show. It was breaking news. Prahlad says he was feeling love. So they asked Prahlad, how is it that you are feeling love? He said, in our custom, in our society, when a child visits his maternal uncle's home or his maternal grandfather's home, Nana's ghar, Nana, maternal grandfather, says when a child visits his maternal grandfather's home or his maternal uncle's home, Mama, the child is showered with a lot of love. So he says, what's the connection? He says, well, when I was being thrown off the cliff, I was going to a maternal grandfather's home. How's that? Oh, you see, my eternal mother is Lakshmi. My father is Narayan. Lakshmi is also known as Sindhu Kanya, the daughter of the ocean. Therefore, the ocean is my grandfather, maternal grandfather. So I was receiving love. In fact, I am not sure whether they threw me. I thought I jumped into the arms of my maternal grandfather. This is the perspective of Vedanta Tishika Swami. Being secure in one's existence. Hence, Prahlad Maharaj is respected and revered as a great personality. So, Kaliya had hate, and that was destroying him and is destroying his entire community. Krishna is the embodiment of love. Therefore, he was very happy dancing on Kali, although Kali was trying to bite him, inject him with poison, deadly poison. Finally, Kalia had gone to Harvard at one point of time. He was well educated. So, when he felt as if his skull would crack into 1,000 pieces, he could not take the pressure of the dance anymore. The teachings of his professors came back to him. Worship Krishna. Can you imagine Harvard, they teach you that? Worship Krishna. Well, the Harvard said, Prahlad went to, they taught him that. Sorry, Kalia went to, they taught him that. So immediately worship Krishna. Krishna says, please leave this place, don't come back again, because even if you change your ways and mend your ways, people would be afraid of your past record. Give them time. 5,000 years from now, when somebody hears about you in Cincinnati, they are going to have healthy feelings for you because you've given sufficient time. But right now, you cannot be here. Leave this place. So Kalia went to a far-off island known as Ramanak Island. Now, for hours, Krishna had been in the waters of the Yamuna. Sometimes you're dancing, sometimes you're swimming around. Oh my God, she started shivering with cold. Because if you've been in water for a long time, as soon as you come out of the water, you feel the cold. Till the time you're in the water, you feel warm enough. When you come out of the water, there's definitely a change in temperature. Krishna started shivering with cold. So what did Krishna do? He found a hillock and he climbed to the top of the hillock so that he could receive the sun's heat. Smart thing, see? He realized that I've come here for grazing, so I don't have my thermos. So he went to the highest point, the land where he was, so that he could get the sun's heat, the rays of the sun. News traveled fast. It traveled all the way to the world, the planets where the sun god lives. Now, the sun god, also sometimes called as Aditya, he, along with his siblings, numbered 12. So there are 12 siblings, and each one of them has the same nature, personality, and quality as a sun god. So each one of them is a sun in themselves. So when they heard the news that Krishna is shivering with cold, they said, hey, you alone will not be able to do much service. We will also come. And we will contribute our heat to serve Krishna through our rays. So Krishna is standing on top of that hillock, and 12 suns all over his head, trying to give Krishna heat. So hillock in Vrindavan, the local language is called as Tila. What is called as Tila? Right. You know, with long words, sometimes you find a shorter version of it. So rather than say Tila and leave the mouth open, they say Til, close the mouth. The lips coming together. So the local people, they just say the shortened version of Tila as Til. And the sun god had come, that means Aditya had come along with his other siblings, 12 of them together. So 12 in Sanskrit is called as Dwadasha. The number 12 is called Dwadasha. And Aditya is kind of the family name for all the 12 brothers. So since the 12 brothers with the family name Aditya appeared there, they are called as Dwadash Aditya. And the place where the Dwadash Aditya appeared is a Til. So where was Krishna being given heat? In a place called as Dwadasha Aditya Til or Dwadasha Aditya Tila. Today if you go there, you can see the beauty of Vrindavan and Yamuna from that high vantage point. Alright? After that, Krishna performed numerous other pastimes. Years passed, centuries passed. About 4,500 years later on, or about 500 years from now, 500 years back, great saint of the name Advaita Acharya, who is also revered by the followers of ISKCON and the Hare Krishna movement and the Gaudiya sect as an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, had come to Vrindavan as a young man for spiritual practices. He was staying close to Dwadash Aditya Tila, which was surrounded by small groves of forests, forest groves. In one of the groves, under a huge banyan tree, he spent many days and nights chanting the holy names of the Lord. One day, he had a dream. The Supreme Lord appeared to him and said, "Worship me." Advaita Acharya wondered, "How do I worship you? Where do I find you?" He said, in the dream, the Lord said, "Right here, under this banyan tree." So with the help of the locals, they dug up around the roots of the banyan tree and found a beautiful deity of the Lord who was so attractive that he could capture the hearts and minds of Cupid personified. And the deity was called Madana Gopal. Since then, that particular grove where this banyan tree is located is called as Advaita Vata. Okay? Banyan tree in Sanskrit is called as Vata Vriksh. Tree means Vriksha. Banyan is Vata. Or Vata is banyan. Vata in Sanskrit is banyan in English language. Advaita Vata. He was a young man. After a few years of spending time in Vrindavan, where he made friends with so many other saintly personalities, great, well-known people of Vrindavan. He also being revered by many accepted students who became his disciples. He decided to go back home to Mayapur. So Madan Gopal said, hey, what about me? I don't want to leave Vrindavan. So he said, my dear Lord, my disciple Purushottam will worship Purushottam Chaube. Madan Gopal said, all right, I'm happy with this arrangement because Purushottam Chaube's wife was a very good cook. Madan Gopal was a foodie. Lord Madan Gopal, he liked to eat nice food preparations. So I was happy with this arrangement. So Advaita Acharya goes back to Shantipur, close to Mayapur, in Bengal. Purushottam Chaube takes the deity from Advaita Vatt to his home in Mathura. And the simple house is a simple Brahman. His wife is a homemaker. He would sometimes give discourses or he would give classes and people would give him donations and he was happy with that. Very simple life. Madan Gopal would receive such tasty roti, tasty khichdi, tasty pulao, tasty curry. I mean, simple fare but very tasty. He was having the time of his life. Previously, he was worshipped by Advaita Acharya, where he would get whatever Advaita Acharya would cook. Now, he was very happy. Some years passed on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's foremost disciple, Sanatana Goswami, having received the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had moved to Vrindavan from present-day East Bengal. So he would go around begging alms every day, a practice known as Madhukari. One day, as he was doing Madhukari in Mathura, he comes to the house of Purushottam Chaube. He doesn't know, there's no nameplate outside. In those days, they wouldn't have nameplates. So he did not know. He just came to the house of one of the residents of Mathura. And before he could ask for alms, Bhiksham Dehi, he found some boys, little boys, who had been playing in the courtyard, ran into the house. So as they slipped past him, his eyes just became stuck on the form of one boy. And he had no idea why. And then the boy disappeared from his vision, but because his eyes completely enamored by the form of this boy. And Sanatana Goswami is a good person, all right? I just want to clarify. He has no records as a child molester. Therefore, later on, he himself was surprised by his actions. His eyes, because they were so much enamored by the form of this boy, that when the boy disappeared, he entered the house through the front door, following the boy. or where the boy's fall was. And right when he came to the spot where that vision had disappeared, he looked around and he found himself at the door to an inner room. He peeked inside the room, and the room was completely empty except for the deity of Madana Gopal. He was confused. He was scratching his head. Although he was shaven-headed, still he was scratching his head. What just happened? How did I transgress certain society laws, and how did I enter a house without seeking permission? And why did I follow this boy? So he immediately comes out of the house and then says, Bhiksham Dehi, the lady of the house comes out and says, Baba, please take some roti. Wheat bread, roti. Flat bread, made of wheat. Take some roti. So he takes a roti, but he cannot. He just is wondering about that boy. So the next day, he stays in the same place and seeks Madhukari from the same house. And he waits for the boys to come running in, and a few boys, 3 or 4 of them come running into the house, and he follows, his eyes follow the same boy, the form of the same boy, and the boy disappears. And again he enters the house and he finds himself in the same room. The room is completely empty except for Madhukari. He's thinking, what is happening? Who is this boy? Where does he disappear to? At that moment, again he comes out of the house and he asks for alms. Bhiksham Dehi. Can I please have some food? At this moment, today, the lady of the house comes into this field of vision from the inner chamber, which could be her kitchen, from the one of the inner rooms. She comes out into that foyer, that little space of the front door into the house, and she has a toothbrush in her mouth. It is called a datu, twig. And she says, Baba, please wait for a moment. Roti abhi sik rahi hai. I'm just cooking the bread. Flat bread. It's being cooked. And she says, Baba, please come into the kitchen. It is very common for saints to be invited, mendicants to be invited into the house. So she welcomes him, comes here and sit. And as soon as it is cooked, I'll offer it to you and you can go on your way. So now he gets invited into her kitchen. He sits some distance away. She's cooking the roti on, what do you call that? Tawa. A pan. A pan. She's cooking it in that pan. When it's done, she says, wait, I'll offer it to my deity and give it to you. So with the twig in her mouth, she goes to offer it to the deity. Now, those who are laughing, they know why. We find it a little interesting. Because there are some laws of sanctity that have to be followed when you approach the deity. And according to one of the norms, you are not supposed to approach the deity brushing your teeth. So Sanatana Goswami keeps quiet. When she comes back with folded hand, she says, Oh mother, Maya, choti nu badi baat. I'm not qualified. But can I ask you for one donation? Please, whenever you go to make an offering for the deity or you're cooking for the deity, please get done with all of your daily chores like brushing the teeth, taking a bath, and then do that. She says, Oh Baba, thank you so much. You have opened my eyes. From tomorrow onwards, I'm going to do that. Sanatana Goswami says, thank you. So that night he again spends in the same village close to that house because he wants to know the mystery of this boy who disappears. The next morning, Purushottam Chobe comes looking for him. And he says, "Are you Sanatan Goswami?" He says, "Yes." He says, "My Madan Gopal has told me that I should give him to you." He says, "Who's Madan Gopal?" He says, "Madan Gopal is my child." "Why are you giving a child to me?" "Because my child has ordered me to give him to you." So, how can I do that? I'm a mendicant. He says, "My child, she's not just ordered me, she's like, I cannot go against what my child wants. At least please come to the house and talk to my child." Sanatan Goswami says, "All right, let me put some sense into the child's head." So he comes to Purushottam Chaube's house. He takes him into that very room where the boy disappears in front of Madan Gopal lady and says, "This is the saint. He says that he cannot take you back. Now you deal with him." Purushottam Chaube leaves. Sanatan Goswami is like, "What is happening?" No one speaks a word. So he comes out of that room. He meets the lady of the house. Purushottam Chaube has gone doing to his work. She says, "Why? What is the problem?" She says, "Well, your husband, he brought me here and says that your child told him that he has to hand over your child to me." She said, "Okay, my husband has said that and that is how it is. But where is your child?" She says, "This is my child, Madan Gopal." She says, "A deity?" He says, "What?" She says, "What is a deity?" He says, "Well, this form here." He says, "Yeah, that's my child." So Sanatan Goswami, he was well aware of how the Lord reciprocates. So he understood that this is how the Lord is reciprocating with these devotees. So he tells, he offers his respects to the lady and says, "Yeah, let me talk to your child." He goes up to Madan Gopal and says, "Please, my dear Lord, I do not know what your pastimes are and how you're performing them, but I do not want you with me. I'm a mendicant. I can hardly take care of my needs. How will I take care of you? Please stay here. You're secure here. You're nicely worshipped here." And then he leaves. And he thinks now he's kind of solved the mystery of that boy. He thinks that he's put two and two together. Like the boy that he sees running in is actually the deity himself. That night, the deity appears to Sanatan Goswami in his dream and says, Madan Gopal appears and says, "Look here. First of all, you convince my mother to give me late breakfast. Now she doesn't feed me till she has brushed her teeth, taken a bath, cleaned up the whole house, done all the rituals. I don't like it anymore. And since you are the person who created this problem for me, you have to take care of me." So Sanatan Goswami, he wakes up from his dream and he's like, "What should I do?" The next day, Purushottam Chaube comes and he tells him, "My child has told me that tell that Sanatan Goswami, he better do as I say. And I say no more." So Sanatan Goswami says, "All right." He brings the deity with him to the place where he was staying for the time that he was doing Madhukari in Mathura. That place is Dwadash Aditya. He brings him there and he says, "See, now you have come. My lifestyle is very simple. I sit and chant Hare Krishna. And when I get little time, I go into Madhukari. I only accept little wheat and sometimes some chana or scrap. And if that is not there, then just wait. I bring it here. I mix it with some water, put it into fire, let it cook for some time, roast, and then I eat it. It is called bhati. Do you know what is bhati? Mother Gopal keeps quiet. I was not asking. Being asked, right? Or being told, that was Sanatana Goswami telling the deity. Mother Gopal keeps quiet. So please understand, all you're going to get to eat is some bhati once a day. Mother Gopal says, well, I asked for it. So every day you just get some bhati. One day the deity Mother Gopal asked Sanatana Goswami, my dear sir, you are used to austerity. I am used to fine food. Let us find some middle space here. I am not demanding fine food, but give me something better than bhati. At least give me some salt along with it. So Mother Goswami says, today you'll ask salt, tomorrow you'll ask for pickle, after that you'll ask for papad. Where do I get all of that? You'll ask for ketchup. I already warned you. Mother Gopal keeps quiet. Mid-morning or late morning, a gentleman comes to Sanatana Goswami at the top of the hill. He says, my name is Kapura Ramdas. Some people also call me Ramdas Khatri. Sanatana Goswami says, yes, so what should I do for you? Well, you see, I was traveling along the Yamuna. I am coming from Multan, that is in Punjab, East Punjab. And I'm a trader by profession. I have a ship full of salt to trade. This is my regular route. Today, right here in the waters of the Yamuna, right there, look there. You see my ship is stuck in a sandbank and I'm not able to move my ship. So I came on shore and there I met some boys. And one of the boys, oh my God, that boy was so wonderful. I mean, I would love to have a child like that myself, that boy. He said, there is one person with mystical powers called Sanatana Goswami, lives on top of this hill. If you go and seek his blessings, your ship will be free. Sanatana Goswami looks at Mother Gopal and says, what is this new problem that you got myself into? Sanatana Goswami says, look, I do not have any mystical powers. This person here has mystical powers. You pray to him. This is Mother Gopal. So, well, when you're in distress, you're ready to pray to anyone, aren't you? So he falls in front of the deity, Mother Gopal, and says, my dear Lord, please, please, please help me. The ship is free. He says, I'm a trader of salt. I want to offer something in return. He gets two bagfuls of salt. Two bags full of salt and leaves it to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami says, okay, I'll give you salt along with Next time, don't create such a drama. This is too melodramatic. So I started serving salt with butter. Now Mr. Kapoor, Ramdas Kapoor, he goes to Agra, which is a destination, sells all of his salt at a huge profit. And he's like, I've never made so much profit. He comes back with all of that profit and says, this is by the blessings of the deity Mother Gopal, I'm going to build a huge temple for him. The first magnificent temple in the whole of Vrindavan was built on Dwadasha Aditya Tila. Later on, deity became famous as Madana Mohan. And the temple is known as Madana Mohan Temple. I wanted to narrate this story because we have a temple coming up here too. And hopefully this story will inspire all of us to understand that if Krishna wants a temple, then he can stop a ship. So if he wants service in certain formats, in certain ways, then definitely he'll be inspiring all of us, provided that we open out the doors of our heart for such inspiration. So once again, I would like to wish all of you the very best and congratulate you on having this wonderful facility where wonderful service, great service to Krishna and to the community will be performed for generations to come. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yes, we have time for some questions and questions.
Can take some question answers if anybody has questions.
I need that verse. So any questions? Okay.
Thank you so much for the amazing story and lecture. I just had a simple question. The Madan Mohan temple in Vrindavan, the deities in there is that the same Madan Gopal that you've been telling us about.
The deities there presently are the same deities. However, there's a little distinction too. The deities that would that appeared to Advaita Acharya and later on were worshipped by Sanatana Goswami have moved to a place called as Karoli in Rajasthan. However, Madan Mohan ji has manifested what is called as a Pratibhu form, which is a similar form. So Krishna expands. So deity has expanded another form. So that Pratibhu form or form that is similar to the original form, Pratibhu means that. Exact replication, Prati. All right? Yeah. So in Vrindavan Madan Mohan temple, we will find the deity in a new temple. The old temple was desecrated and destroyed. However, since it is such a magnificent structure, the structure is still there. Is that okay? You're welcome.
Other questions?
Comments, reflections. Anybody has been to Vrindavan, been to the Madan Mohan temple? Okay. It was really so, and like you said, they're all bright, that with your bright and that here, actually everything is so clear. But I want to thank Prabhu, this Ali Prabhu introducing his background is in medicine, science. I was just reflecting how just as that was like that experiment that we're talking about in science lab, sometimes it happens. And we are performing this experiment. But just the way you narrated the story, like I was wondering like where you're heading, because when I saw this on the screen and then finally the climax how you got it. But like generally you see PhD students how they would they make those references, right? In the piece, like you can see a bench of all, like that's how the story started. Like we started all the way back to how the brother Aditya Kila, and then how the year performed was performed there, and how over generations, this Leelas have been performed the same place. How Sadhana Goswami came there, how the deities, Mother Gopal, Mother Mohan, how the temple was eventually built there. How nicely Prabhu at the end concluded with why he chose this topic, because we have this beautiful temple of Shri Radha Krishna coming up in Cincinnati. I was reflecting how apt it is that the disciple of his own is Radhanath Maharaj here, because again, we take the same history, like how he narrated the history of Cincinnati, his own Radhanath Maharaj was here, many decades ago. And he was had Chandramani Maharaj come here last year, he shared his wonderful memories of how the congregation was initially built here. And now today, it's so wonderful to have Radhanath Maharaj disciples here coming and talking about. So just past 50 years, you can look at the history, how Cincinnati has grown, and today, like how we come to the end, beautiful temple coming out of Cincinnati. So this was so nicely narrated. So thankful to you. So with that, we'll chant Hari Bol 3 times loudly from the bottom of our heart and thank His Grace Rohinipriya Prabhu for this wonderful narration of the first temple in Vrindavan and the first temple coming up in Cincinnati. Hari Bol!
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! You may be wondering why this is up. If you're not, then now you will start wondering. And this is because I asked them to put this up so that I could, after all the presentation is done, I could conclude with all of us chanting this verse, which specifically glorifies Madan Mohan. Is that okay? Yes? So what we'll do is we'll take it line by line. There are 4 lines here, right? So first I will chant it 1 line and then you can repeat after me. Is that okay? Or should we do it together? Maybe that's better. And the meter is Did you get the meter? Okay. 1, 2, on the count of 3. Jayatam suratau pangur mama manda matir gati matsarvasva padam bhoyo radha madana mohanau. Translation? So everyone together, can you do the translation? Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors and their lotus feet are everything to me. Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.